Hey, hello everybody. Welcome for another class. Give me a moment so I can check if the sound is fine. Hello, testing. Hey, hello everybody. Welcome for... Okay, the sound is good. Sorry for this inconvenience in every class, but I had some situation where I was talking for a long time and then the sound was not working, the image was not working. So now that's why I'm always checking. So just a recap from last class in one thing. I promised to not do anything but only in the live class, but I did one little thing here that is I update our backend, the .NET framework from, let me open here the project, from version 9 to 10, because the version 10 just released not long ago. And as we are starting a new project, it's not a big deal to just update for the latest. One tip that you should carry for your career is always be careful when you update things. Make sure that you have the proper time to test, because it's very common to break something else. Every time I try to do a full upgrade in versions without proper testing, something is slipped and I just found in production, and that is not a good thing to do. So always plan ahead to upgrade version. Okay, so going back to our application, just to recap what we did from last class, if we go to our front end and then we run the application, we will see that the application, the front end runs in the port 5173. Because this tool is simulate a web browser or a web server that is going to be running locally, so we can navigate. So when we open this page, actually this tool that is running here, this npm run dev, is the one that is serving those folders or those files. So if we open the F12 tool here, and then we go to the network tab, sorry, and we reload it, all the code related to this page is coming from this tool here. So this is simulate a web server. However, look at this, it's running port 5173. But as you remember, when we set up our Docker configuration in our Docker Composer, we said that the front-end application will be running the port 80. And then I want to make sure that from the console and from the Docker, they both run in port 80. Of course, we cannot run both at the same time, but I don't want to be fixing URL when you are testing from our local tool or when you are using Docker. The same for the backend. So what I will do here is I will come here and say, how do, of course, if I look documentation, I will find where to set the same information for our front-end application that is running from that tool. But I want to show you that AI is awesome for this. I really love those, because when you are in the road for a long time, you are using different technology. And then it's very easy for us to forget about those little things. Which file, which line, which parameter, which setting, which configuration. But as long as you know that there's something is possible and have a vague idea how to do it, you can make good use of AI. Because I can say, okay, how do I make the front end application run on port 80 when I use the npm run dev command? Of course, if I went to Google or if I check the documentation, I would find it. The good thing is that you don't need to leave the IDE, and it's going to say, oh, I need to check the front-end configuration with and then found to make the front-end report 80, you need to configure the vite dev server port. However, the port 80 requires as a root access, so I have to run that as you do. There is some other options, but we can use a different port, so you don't need to use as you do, but I will keep like this. And there is one catch here. With one tip, every time you ask something and there is some change, we can go to this Git component and we can see, okay, what changed? So we know that this file, vitconfigs.ts, is the one that was changed. And just there is an entry 80. One thing that we could be curious is, okay, where that port was coming from? This port here, 5173. Because I thought, oh, maybe this port was here and then we will change, but there is no server configuration. So I can say where the port was coming from before you change the vit.config file. I'm curious to figure out how it is. I actually know the answer already, but let's see how you could. So what Copilot tells us, oh, Vit by default, we use the port 5173 when you don't give anything else. So that is it. I'm gonna keep the change. And then I already know that if I don't set up any specific port, Vit will always run the port 5173. Remember that this Vit is a recommended tool from Meta that we should use to create and then test our applications. Okay, so I will keep this chain and say, what about the back end? I want to run it at the same port we define in the Docker config. And then I can go there and check, okay, which port it was run. If I'm not mistaken, it was 5000, but we can go there and see Docker Composer, and then the backend is running here. See, backend port 5000. I can put here just to make easier for you. I already remember that is from here, there is a file. I don't remember exactly, but one of those files, this one, I think. Yes, see, it's gonna tell what, no, not this one. Oh yeah, this one, but this was the forecast one. It was the old file. Let's see what is gonna come here. I update the backend port 5000 launch.settings. So where was that file? We can come here and check. So this file was in that backend property launch.settings. So right here. Do you see that application was here? We changed to 4000, and then we changed this other one as well. Okay, this is what we added to our, I guess, no, this was not the core, but let's keep this for now. We're gonna do the integration later on, so we have to make sure that those ports are correct. Otherwise, we're gonna find some bugs and fix it. But okay, this was the change I like for now. And then I'd say, I put a commit. Every time you have something that you like, just commit it so you can easily go back or see the history. So change the front end and back end ports to match. Just to 80 and 5000. Okay, so this was just a recap and a little warm-up for today's class. Okay, let's wait this to go. Now our goal is to complete our front end for the customer registration. Remember that in the previous class, we built the back end. So we have a controller that controller could get a new create user, and then we're gonna send that user direct to the database. We even made some calls. Later on, we're gonna improve this a lot. This is gonna change a lot. We're gonna build some unit tests, integration tests. But for now, what I'm gonna ask, we don't have encrypt yet, but I'm gonna say, I need, oh, create a component to allow customer registration. Add a link to the main page to allow visitor to do the registration. I may be more specific. Remember that the backend already has a controller for users with a create user method. Please follow. This is silly, but make a difference. Please follow the best practice. Because what happened here is a danger to use AI is they use a huge data set to find those answers. And sometimes how they score the best answer, the best like next step is how frequent they are. And sometimes not the best solution is not the most common one. Sometimes it's even the more rare one. So it's very common to come some example that is just a hello world or something that is incomplete, is not professional. So is that why we cannot just use AI blindly? It's a very powerful tool, help us a lot, but it's going to make you like faster. If you are good, you'll be fast and good. If you are bad, you'll be fast and bad. So let's see how this goes. And I have to, let me stop this guy because there is a lot of code changing. And then later on, I remember that I have to go to a new tab as well. I need to go to the backend and run .NET Run as well, but I'm not going to run now. Let's wait for what is coming here and say, perfect. I create custom registration components following best practice. What was created? Register.tsx. So if we go here, we can see files that have been created. So there is a new file. This is a tsx file that based on the class we had already for React, we should understand what is in here. Never trust blindly. Make sure that you understand what is in here. And of course, test a lot. So what we'll do is we're going to save this. And let's run our backend .NET run in the backend. In theory, there is no change in the backend. So the backend should be similar to what we had before. And now let's run our front end. And the front end will be npm run dev. Oh, I need to do the sudo because it's running port 80 now. Okay, see, run port 80 and then boom. We have here, there is a button, login. I didn't ask for a login. Let's just click to see what happened. There is no login yet. Okay, cool. We can still change the theme and then we can click sign up. Look, this is in our registration is very simple. We just put our email. Let's see how smart they were. Let's just type this, no password, and click sign up. All fields are required. This is good. So I didn't, in this case, he is acting as a developer with some experience because realize, okay, this is required, this is required, this is required. Please enter validation. So there is some email validation. I already saw a regular expression there that probably is coming from there. Let's just go here to the component. If we go to the component, let's see, I guess this is the regular expression, see? When you validate the form, we are applying this regular expression to test. If it's not, we do this. So there is some testing already. And every form, every data entry for a good application, we have to be very picky on what you should allow to go through. So we can see some level of maturity already here. So let's just do this. Test front end email at noemail.com, and the password I put 123 123. We already know that a good application should not allow easy password like this one, but I'm not expect that there is any validation here. Let's go. Okay, there is something, must be at least six characters. So let's put here, oh, I don't want to use now, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, let's put this, 6, 7, 8, so they're different. So do you see there is a checking already? Oh, this has to match. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, oops, there is an error creating the user. So let's see what happened. Let's put open F12. Let's go to the network tab, is not here yet, but let's make the call. And then we can see there is this component here. That there is a call, there is internal application error, and then okay, let's see what happened here. Localhost 50. Let's see in the console what is here. Internal server error register is a post. Let's go to the network. And this is expected a lot. Basically, part of the time you'll be doing is fixing error, correct it, and improve what we're doing. So here's the payload that you are sending. Here's the response. Error while create a user. I have a glimpse that we didn't run our back or our Docker container for Postgres. So the backend application cannot connect to the database. I don't remember. I'm gonna put in the documentation. That is very important. That I'm gonna add it there. But I say, how do I start the Postgres Docker container? This is common. Sometimes you are not paying attention. The service is down. You try to run or something, put the server down, and you have to do this investigation. So I'm gonna say, okay, this is how we do it. I copy. Let's see here. You can start or to start all safe. I don't want to start all, only the DB. I run this guy here. So what I do is I will copy this. As I remember, we need to be in the base folder. And I will do this, boom, and then. So now our server is running. Because remember, we have the front end, the back end, and the database. Now let's go here and test again. So now I got the message say customer registration successful. So that was the issue. So this call went through this one here. Oh, sorry, this one. The response was the ID and the email. And that means if we go to VS Code and we connect to Postgres, we should have that connection from the last class already. If we go to the database and then app Vita, schema, public, all the tables, we only have one for now. And from here we can see like if you right click and select top 100 rows, we should see the new email there, test free email. See that password that we put. Let's do another test. Let's go here, sign up, And let's put some Jose 1 or Jose or customer registration 1 at noemail.com. And then the next, let's put like a strong generate password, and then let's do the sign up. Boom. Do you see that we are then we come back here? So this login is not ready yet, but we can come here, rerun this query, and then you can see there is a new row there with the information we put. One thing that is a sin today that you should never do it is having the plain text password into the database. So that is our next step. We have to fix this because no software engineer should come to a solution like this nowadays. This is just because I'm building step by step, and then I'm gonna show some mistakes, and because I want you all to never do those mistakes. Okay, so now what we do have? We have our full stack application running locally. For now, only in this is the error that we get when you run before. And this console is nice because shows what is going on there, and this one shows what is going in the back end as well. So right now we have like 3 consoles running those guys. We're gonna use this as we are doing development because this is the best way to change and see the change, because this guy is watching those files. Every little change that we do, we see right away. For example, if I am here, I go to our registration controller, register component, and then we didn't improve this. Look, there is hard code here. There is, let's see what is, sign up to get started with app. Let's say sign up. Imagine that, like, let's go here. And then if we go to this page, do you see sign up to get started with? I say, oh, this is unnecessary. I'm already in a sign up. I can just remove this. I don't like this. So I can just come here, remove it, and I can see the change right away. If I go to my component, see that is not there anymore. That is the advantage to be using this console instead of the Docker, because this guy monitored. But let's try this. I will stop this. I will stop this. I will close those 2 windows so you don't say that I am cheating. I will stop this guy, and I could come here and see how to run all those guys. I can say Docker compose app, so it's gonna run everything. To close then, I can use Docker compose down. If I use this detach, it's just to make sure that they're gonna be running in the background, and my console will be free. I can do other commands there. So like this, let me clean this. I run all the containers. So that means now my application has Docker running. I should even be able to come here, not guarantee, but yeah, that is kind of, there is a extension for VS Code that is going to read the process, the Docker that is running, and then we can visually see what is going on here. It's funny because those are the thing that is running. So in theory, if I just open the browser, I open the Firefox, and then I navigate to localhost. Oh, nothing is going on. Okay, it's not HTTPS for sure. Not is going on. Let me try something here. I'm gonna get this guy. I will start it. I will get this guy, and I will start. Just in case. Oh, look, I'm dumb. Sorry. Not dumb, but I didn't pay attention. I run this one that only started the DB. This was the one that will run everything when I don't specify. So this tool allows me to visually see what is running, what is not, what is available, and then I run them. Now, I should be able to come here. Oh, it's already even, oh no, let's open a new page. Just make sure I close this. Let me open a new Firefox page. And let me go. Oh, not yet. What could be the case? Okay, no. That is fun. Oh, that is interesting. We just run. Oh, I'm glad that this happened, just to show you what is going on. If we keep this browser here, this is the page that is right now in our Docker container for the front end, because we didn't do a new build. We just start the container, but this container is like a server that still has the old code. That was very nice to happen because it's something that I could miss. So what I need to do is, how do I update my front end and back end Docker's container? They are still running old code. Let me put an exclamation mark here. No need, but just I like to be training people. Because remember, this command just start or stop the container, but then we forgot this, build. So in theory, what I should do is, let me put side by side, so it's easy for us to copy and paste. I don't want to run all in the same time, because then help us to understand what is going on. Well, we could do this to stop building app, or just one command. Let's see if this is going to do the trick. So you don't need to be doing paste and then so now what happened here? First, we're gonna see if there is any update that need to be done based on the library that we are using. And our application will be compiled and then deployed to those containers. That is the reason. Well, thank you, David. Good class master. That is the reason of fail to solve process release did not complete. What is going on here? Fail to solve process. Let me try this. Just in case, let me run all together already. Sometimes we need to put the service down to put them up, but let's see. Okay, let's test. Do you see this is the previous one? We should, no, not the new one yet. Oops, I know what could be. Fail to determine the HTTP port for a directory. Right. Oh, I know what could be. We are trying to bind the application port 8080. But we changed to 5000, right? Yeah, I think that was the case. Let me stop this. We could investigate ourselves, but I think for the sake of learn how to use AI, I can say something like this. I can copy the error I'm getting here. Let's see. Let me go here to see what is going on. Okay, I go here and I expect this to happen. I don't want to come here and just show everything work fine. I want us to be able to investigate. Hey, hello, Gabriel. The application is not working, and I see this warning in the console. I have a clue that is because the port that we changed to 5000 for the, yeah, the backend should still work with 5000. However, if application isn't working, the issue is like cores. The front-end port 80 is trying to call the backend of 5000. Let me add the core to configuration backend. Let's see which change they are doing. And then please make sure to add localhost to cores for import. So I make sure that if I'm localhost, I don't need to, I can use any port. Let's make sure that is good. And then I'll copy this command, docker compose app, and then build. And another important tip is pay attention what is being changed. We can understand what is being changed there. So see, this is the cores policy that we are changing. Say, okay, whatever start with localhost, HTTP or HTTPS, we're gonna allow to call us. This is the change in the ASP/TSX to add our component for registration, and this is our registration. So now let's try to do this. I'll clear and then I'll run again. And you have to be patient and know what is happening and use the opportunity to learn. Don't get despair and then, oh my God, how are you going? Make sure that you keep calm and you keep track what is going on. Sometimes it'll be hours and hours to have that. So in this case, we got an error. .NET Compose to build bake, but buildx isn't installed. Okay, so probably we are missing something here as I update the .NET version. And see, there is a message, error, support target. Okay, I'll do this. I'll show him. So probably what happened is, let me just try to guess first. In our Docker Composer file, we are saying that the backend is here. If we go to the backend and check our Docker file, bingo, see? I forgot to update those Docker file to tell we need the framework 10. And I can give all this, or I can just say, update the Docker file for the backend to use the .NET Framework version 10. I could just come here and do the change, but we are paid, so let's the AI do the work. See, it's just about that. So for sure, if someone is doing this over and over, will be way faster to go to the file, do the change and save, than like spend some tokens to the UI. So I believe that someone that is specialized in doing something over and over will be way faster than using AI agent. AI agent is very good for someone that is doing something for the first time, or do once in a while, or someone that is working with so many different technologies that is very hard to you to memorize all the things. So I'm gonna keep this, and probably I just need to run this again, because the build will make sure that those versions are downloaded, is installed inside the containers, and then running. There are some things going on. It's still building. And then looks like now should be fine. And it's like life. Sometimes it's good to have troubles, so you learn. If everything goes smooth, everything works like a charm, sometimes you lose opportunity to learn. So Yeah, it's doing all the magic of the build. So this is what the DevOps team would do in a big project. There are entire teams that just get all the code, all the application, all the repository, do all the builds, and then deploy. For example, in some project that I work, this deploy go to thousands of files, servers, hundreds of servers. Sorry. There is an error here. Must be important type is enable. Okay, so this is some compilation error for the front-end application. And we may guess what is going on here. I'm gonna be lazy. I'm just going to copy. But I'll take a look. In this file, there is a error. Form event. Event is a type and must be imported using type only import. Okay, so there is a setting that is say, we need to be strict. So let's see what the suggestion AI will do. I confess I don't know exactly how we're gonna fix this, but I'm gonna just put the error there and see what AI is going to suggest. I'm pretty sure there is a flag that we are using that strictly something and we are not doing it. So yeah. If I had commit that code, I could come here and see exactly what was changed here, but I don't mind. And there is something good. See, we just need to build now the front end. So basically, we don't need to do all over again. We can just come here and say, okay, let's build and put up the front end only because it's the one that failed. So now it's copying the target files to the container. That is the magic with Docker. Simulate real servers running in our machine. Okay, so this means this guy should be fine now. Okay, see? We can change the theme. We can go to the sign up. Look, we can change the theme in the sign up and change everything. And then let's go to the dark mode. And then we can say Docker test1 at noemail.com. Let's put a password here that dot lol dot lol dot. Oops, does not match. Something that we could not now, I say never. We could add something here to show the password. Remember, AI is going to give you something. It's up to you to polish it. In this case, like I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I know it's going to work it. And then, boom, we got this. How do you know that this is work? We can go to our database tool, is already here. And this guy is connect the same Docker container for the Postgres. So if we run this guy, we should see the new user there. Okay, that was the idea for the today class. I know it was a lot because I see. Hey, Dave. Yes, so that is the idea for the today, just to make sure we could connect the dots. Of course, I need to do a better job explaining you or reviewing what is being generated, but this is something that you can do as well. I put the code there. Just go to this, guys, and see how it was built. It's just plain vanilla React application. And you can play with it, and part of our work here will be to improve it. We're gonna add more functionality, until we have something that is solid enough, we're gonna use unit tests, and then we can start to ask for collaborators to do the work. Right now, we are still laying the foundation, because it doesn't matter if you know everything about the theory if you don't know how to materialize it, how to build something. This is the first step. We are building, and right now we are running from the container. And I hope you got the idea that the container is good when we're gonna put there and keep it there for a while, for do automated tests or do some testing, or even go to like a user acceptance production. But when you're gonna do the work, change over and over, and you want to see the result right away, it's better to be using those console. Otherwise, we need to be running those. And do you see that the window is stuck here? Because we run in a way that was not with this option here. What was the option? Let me go back here. Where is it? Yeah, this detach mode. We put the -D. So just to play with it, I'll stop this guy. So in theory, the front end should be down now because we run it in the attached mode. Let's just test it. I may be wrong. Yeah, it's down. So now what I do? I run everything again. Let's see here. Docker compose app -D for all saves. Because in theory, what is already running and build does not change. So let me clean this. And then do you see the option -D there? -detect. So it's showing it's run, and this one is started. If we go to this tool here, where is it? Containers. We can see that, oh, maybe it was already built, there is no change. Docker is smart enough to see if there is any change. This should be already up and running. Yeah, it's up and running. Okay, so as we don't need to be running those commands every time we change the line of code, we're going to be using both. Only the the database container that will be running there, because unless we are doing some change, then we're going to change it. And we may need to do some, even when you create a new table, we don't need to put the database server down and back again. So the application, yes, but not the backend. Okay, sorry, I guess I confused you a little bit. So in our case, we're gonna be keeping the database container running all the time. The front end, the back end, will be running from those console commands, because there are tools that watch the files, and every time there is a change in the file, they rebuild the application live, and then we keep moving. It's faster. If we don't do that, every change we need to do a Docker Compose app and then wait the build to happen so we can test. So that will be a delay that is not pleasant. Okay, well, thank you for the participation. I hope you like it and you are building something here. We already have an application. There is a lot of templates that is not doing anything yet, but we already did a little part of it. Is every application is going to have a sign up. We're going to improve that a little bit in next class until you have something solid. We're going to add the encrypting thing, and then we're going to go to the login and we start to build whatever we need. So God bless you. Until next class. See you. Bye. God bless you. Until next class. See you.